Fáilte, a chuirde Gaeilge. Hope you're all keeping very well and healthy, and mostly also inside of your house, unless you're going outside for a stroll or to get some food. I'm just back from my wee daily stroll around the block here, and was just out getting ready to set this podcast up for you, and it's one that I've been really looking forward to putting out for a while since I recorded it, which I think was back in December. It's a chat that I did with Siobhán De Paor and Diarmuid Lyng down their house in Kerry. This one is mostly as Gaeilge, but we do just go between Gaeilge and English a few times during the episode. So you can give it a try if you want to, practice your couple of focal, and if you're used to listening to stuff in Irish, then buin sult as an ceann. If you haven't got the Irish to follow along with this episode, I'm going to put a wee blog post together about this episode and put it on rebelmatters.ie with some links and stuff that you can find out more about Diarmuid and Siobhán. Diarmuid actually was the subject of a really recent Gaeilge show, which should still be on the TG Car Player because it was only about 10 days ago whenever that came out. And also you can find out a good bit more about Diarmuid and Siobhán on wildirishretreat.com, and you can also find out about the Irish retreats and who else is involved in it and when the next one is coming up. Well, I suppose that's kind of like up in the air now with the way that things are, but I know a few people who've gone down and done the retreats with the lads and can't speak highly enough about them, just with everything that's involved in it, between the yoga and practicing the Irish and being out in the wild and also getting to know the other people that are on the retreat, and also Diarmuid and Siobhán. As I said, this episode was recorded in around December down in their house. I just rented a car for the day, drove down and met them, because I actually been meaning to meet up with Diarmuid for a good while, because I just always thought that we'd have a good chat. So we'd been in touch and trying to plan the episode for a little while, and then eventually I just got hold of a car for a day and drove down and met them. And the chat is recorded in their kitchen. Siobhán is making dinner, and then we're eating dinner, and then we're eating scones, and then their wee lad Ishna is running around playing with the dog and banging stuff and having a great time during the episode. And I have to say that recording episodes like this here, when it's kind of like just informal, set the recorder up in the middle of the kitchen table and just work away and have a chat, are some of my favourite ones, just because the flow of the conversation becomes so natural. And it's literally just, when you're listening to it, like being in on the conversation, just sitting on a chair at the kitchen table. Also, Siobhán read a couple of her poems out, and one of them was Asperla, so I'm actually going to put that in now because I think it really sets up the context of the chat that we had really well. And during this episode, we spoke about so many things. We spoke about creativity and reconnecting with ourselves, reconnecting with nature, the importance of the Irish language, trees, sport, coming together, food, foraging, everything. It's class. So if you're not going to be able to follow along with this episode, I would really highly recommend just go to rebelmatters.ie and check out the wee blog post that I've put together with some links and stuff like that, so that you can go and find out a bit more about Diarmuid and Siobhán and what it is they do, and have a listen to this. Siobhán's wee intro to the poem is in Irish, but the poem itself is in English. So check it out.
Scrias an ceann seo in íag an dísir déirnach actually I gcóir Chalína Cabhraíon Linn an dísirt, agus bhí si an céad duine a dúirtlumm bhí an nasc idir na crín agus an teanga, agus nuair a gceartar na crín gur scriostar an teanga. Do you think there might be a link between the oaks and the ohm, between the trees and the tongue, between the song and the song? When they felled Kildarach and then they called it Kildare, did you think that it was far off, that they'd try hunt down the hare? But she was too fast, and so she did outlast the great genocide to wait the turning of the tide and the return of the time when Irish men speak Irish and oaks fill the horizon.
That definitely gives you a bit of an idea of the theme of the chat that you're about to listen to. Before we get stuck into the episode, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been supporting the podcast through sharing it on social media, sending me messages about the episodes, and especially everyone who has become a patron of the show over on patreon.com/rebelmatters. I've been working full time with the podcast over the last couple of weeks because of the fact that, like a lot of people, I am just at home here, riding out the storm and abiding by all the social distancing guidelines. So I've just had loads of time to work on the podcast, and it's something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. But the other side of it is that our wee business, Ackley, is closed for the foreseeable future, just like a lot of businesses. So I set up the Patreon and did a bit of work on the website, the rebelmatters.ie website, and also the Patreon account, so that people could go there and support the show and become patrons of the show. And in the last couple of weeks, there's been a good few who have. So Gura, Ked, Mila Maigov, it just fucking means so much that people are happy to lend a bit of support to the podcast and to support all the effort that goes into it. So thanks a million. Right, lads, let's get stuck into the chat with Diarmuid and Siobhán. As usual, there is a bit of Roald Dahl Boy Tales of Childhood at the very end of the episode after the outro music. So even if you can't listen to the rest of this episode, you could always just skip ahead to the bit of story time at the very end and enjoy that. There's only a couple of chapters left, so we're going to have to come up with something else to read whenever that's done. But let me work on that and I'll come back to you and hopefully have something else lined up for the next few episodes whenever we've finished that book. Two more things just before we get stuck into this episode. First of all, I just want to say Gura Ked Mila Maigov to Siobhán, Diarmuid and wee Ishna for inviting me down to their house, for sharing their stories with us and for being such just all round legends and beautiful people. And second of all, here's another one of Siobhán's poems. This time it's As Gaeilge, so have a listen to it and then we'll get stuck into the episode. So buonagi sold as a carja.
An scoilas an scoilt. Oberweile Herren falle mo velach kun velle mo charra as a churum as an tí is as an túrum. Go bhfuil rodí níos tábhach tí, ná dúr is a venach tí. Leis dig sa hig níor higtar Les mo foin spéir. An sé rí sa léir, go bhfuil ar il san irthar, is ar húil sa dúlra, ó mo charra is fiú da súgra, is han páiste bio, Les mo go dó. Tá na bailí cearnógach mar teoran de sprí a nachdaíana mo baistethe sa bhluch, constach do gaí a ardaíana mo faoi mar a ardaíon do gho leis an gaí, I gé slú mar an gríon ina lí. Goháin, sparán, a da pócaí lán, níl spás ta rodí faoáin. Fanna mo, go digan tú, nach fuiléan rod wet. Go líanan an spás on it, le sonas.
Ken do gur ní sé Susan seo an as an Chandler seo.
Nílam as fortlarga mé.
Okay.
I Millen Ryan, yes, so bhí Gaeilge me hélo vís óg. Ach chuí mé vís haar lear feig I suppose well vís an Austrál.
Come on, we'll do a géirí seach. A rása gon cóhéig sa hór and níl me tosnathe like.
Well, sort of Heglin tasú tafod.
Cepas gur nach nílan tú like say sna cín eile bhí like dílan tú intro.
Íon sé
Bíog.
But Janam Shannon Arbá.
Of course.
Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah. Sína agus
Is fit at é chusteach.
Yeah, agus is féidir le PC a bhaint amach a tá freisin mar just a ragla. Goidir dinner bí rud aigen.
Yeah, dinne mé topic is toch ar cóhéics. Bhí sé tros spiridálteachta Moselind agus Nepal ar feag 3 bliain agus nuair dil mé an soch bhí Gaeilge má bháthir agus bhí si ar meallach amach le. So dil mé an so agus fuair si bás bliain in íocht son agus bhí 6 ganíon post nó ganíon tróir bhís taréis bhí má héalas má bhion taréis ahrú go thomláin nuair a bhí saoil móthain bhís taréis annach chuid self-discovery a dhéanamh.
The 3 bliain sin tá fada.
Sin tamil fada.
Janan daoine le jet lá nó rud aigen.
Yeah. Bhí annach chuid self-discovery le déanamh go. Bhí bhacear ólas a gom.
Bór fada le teiste.
Bhí bhacear ólas a gom. Bór fada.
Dé bhí ar buna go sin le machnú agus.
Machnamh, yoga agus ordivédia, like just I fálam faoin corp agus an lais agus an nádúr agus like annach chuidrodí like bhís just ag ihe leabhar
I know.
le faoi like numerology mar hampla nó astrology nó crystals nó like just na rudí ar fad athá buinteach le cuasaí spiridálteachta nó cuasaí nach chuil ní ábharach so the unmaterial like because bhís go thomláin focused ar material like agus níor chug mé ní chug mé an air ar an non-material world like nuair bhí sim a fihidí agus an sin just bhí orm sais catching up bí nuair a bhés hála.
Cén bliain
So bhí chu mé ann nuair a bhís finé agus dil mé nuair a bhí mé trocadó. Yeah, agus an sin tháinig mé an seo. Yeah, in a dhéag má bháthir nuair a chaileach má bháthir bhís just sa sé leir a gáit chun macht ní raibh sé rúnach fannacht bhaile ar ásásta ann bog mé go dtí cahar corcaí ar feig 3V agus ní rá san an fannacht cahar. Just bhís ró ag an am sin just bhís ró lochlach too sensitive beidir a go an cahar like
Coidúir go ré. Coidúir stuff Victoria's a cair an tamar fad.
Yeah, sin fuim agus just an nádúr like bhí taithí orm just beh go thomláin san nádúr, you know, bhí sa Himalaya dhéanamh annach chu trekking agus mar sin de, you know, agus bhí sa cónaí I phobal ar feag tréimh sé necha le lochhail in Nepal, you know, just a feag 3V just I phobal bhís dath glá ag siúil tríd na cinic agus just agus rinne an macnamh in tú 10 lá macnamh sé bhíh pasna agus dhéanamh an bhíh pasna sin bhís antóg leis so dhéanamh cuasa de sin.
Sin le ciúna somláin?
Ciúna somláin iad fá leabhart léine.
Gemmer bhí sin Jackar?
Yeah, bhí nó bhí sé go húntaach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bhí sé go húntaach, yeah. No, bhí sé just ag testáil weim, like, you know, ní raibh sé ró dheachar an éoncur, actually. Bhí sé dheachar tachtamachas, actually, ar déire, you know. Sé did fá, like, yeah, like, leis an rudí mar sin, like, Harlín sé go tapig in it fá, like, you can become addicted to the spiritual trip, come on, like, you know. Is because ha gacrat có simúl stigan like stigan.
I know like múnseúr ar leithegad nar bhí tú tean.
Ní raibh bhí sais bhí rud éigean anam a bhí consteach anam chun ghlacha le éon údarás daoine eile.
Oh yeah.
You know, go háirithe go háirithe na cína bhualas leo. Like just charlatans, like, you know.
And Coidúir sin on like daoine Holland sin atá sort of like capitalising on the Western sort of.
Yeah.
Bhí tú horrors múntóirí ann nach raibh.
Bhí sé horror dagan.
Cúi tú drón a daoine is láidre a há fós bio.
Yeah.
Fear daoine like.
Yeah, há níomh bhain, reint níomh bhain. like I tír bhain me leithe áit san Ind agus just sé bailúcháin de like daoine néamh.
Really?
Agus há ben an ní leabhann si fiú agus just tagann si amach chun si amach ar an sráid agus like cos háin firgan na plodal daoine like gach lá tagann si amach agus just thugann si srachéchant a gachéine agus like just ciúnas i de críon i dhéag like agus bhí ciúnas ar an sráid ilig like just rethas go raibh gachrad ciúin agus séh agus í just ag imacht haar. Daoine cosúla sin bhí like so is cuoin am Argentinian Caesar Tyrrell agus just bhí sé leabhart dhéanann siad satsang, you know, siad just says múine pe just leabhann siad agus chuann daoine ceist agus freagraíonn siad na ceistena, you know, but bhí sé ag caint lumpsa, you know, like bhí sé caint pe ceist a bhí macrí.
An dromadorí.
You're fáil isteach ar show. Yeah, so Caigro tú difriúil teach ar eisce sin?
Yeah, I need it. Yeah, because this March, you're sure we go over an Irish Catholic review. It make me out. I guess you know, Malachlia, I guess just to go over Martian, you know, like it's gonna sale. I guess you know the ilme like Sinead I was an few swine there le hedi in a reached, you know.
Senior Henry Fraser like machine and Arian to níos creative like níos more creative.
Oh, Anna, yeah.
Kent. I can't bother Hannah Chinnamak.
Le me skrif do spoiler, yeah. Bis skrif dis an Hammerfide. Yeah, agus skrif annachid. I wrote the shit out like, you know, agus an sin bhí rudí anna bhaith tacht, you know, so inis, yeah, scream filiach den ish, agus ha sé bhaid níos firish, nor léim siar an a rudí, I do spar ha luacharú, like, you know, but like, I gom práid leis an slí a richen sé inis. So sin an meach a hana sé amach domsa, is a filiacht.
And sin tú go muid ar fad cruthíach ar an TVSD, but like, come in a rudí ar fad sort material like Coruscacher and
yeah, credu me sin kinte sin an rud like ha annachid braham an ballacht go dí de spiridáltachta sé an ballacht go dí de crohíocht actually, you know, sé san áit cíine de sprid agus de crohíocht agus le móchuid crohíocht like ní gáid sé cosúile áit agus ha smuintí na mílte smuintí ann agus just caiigh tú bheon áirithe nó dardara chiméad de bheon, it's just a vibration in your mind agus an sin han tú ann sin an doras agus má han tú ann just fiocht timp agus piúsús péad a ha wet, you know, so má han tú in áin de chuid bheon a hógant go dtí an áitsan did for just bheith go síri, you know, níl éon gauntanas riamh, níl éon, you know, people bíonn ar a kind of creative block nó ní raibh le héad gom riamh, like, you know, because sé gcónaí ann.
And sin tú go bhfuil creative blocks or like níos mó creative blocks into sohi so an lá tainniuán like le sort of like consumerism agus an rubber sin tú go stop siad an rudí sin cruthíocht like
Sílim go bhfuil is tócha isí nuair a hantar drumclach an intine caiite go dul níos daine agus nó rudí sin pérad há timpplairt chiméan sé tú ar an drumcle, you know, agus han tú ag marachtant ar an drumcle agus bhís ag marachtant ar an drumcle dan saoil de mintine de gachrad agus bhí gachrad go bre ar an drumcle ach caiite dul níos daine chun an luachaáil an severusáil de héal agus de búine agus an consteach go mínig daoine don chuid is móna hadidir gnóchach agus hadidir sásta bheith gnóchach
a gcónaí grothach le
I gcónaí gnóchach agus hadidir ag marachtant ar an drumcle so ní léon cúisdóibh just déanaí daine agus an crothíocht a buine amach.
Is tócha dó go bhfuil an dord sin like ní hé go bhfuil tá daoine nachfuil like há si dain, há si de stígán, há si duna crothach, tá si duna spiridáltacht ach níl si den ann tacht like tá na rudí seis mí ceart ag tacht chuú nó beidir nachfuil si ag oscailt nó oscailte go dtí an dord ceart like, ní go bhfuil creative blocks the creative blocks are from living to the surface of life, because there are people definitely who are way in but they're still in creative blocks, because I think as you're saying, there's different things how ruddy differula ag tacht agus ag amach an tamar fad agus better than anam ag an am son nachil she an tro carto, so just like say me and she agus me and ruddy agus conan fine like kime sin le reinting like nor han fine course an arching
so
ní block a haun is just how she like tá reinting agus captain sheet ní an tacht agus sin derin sheet gur block a town a chadini ella. And they're like, well, just on my spas or sneak will block. It's just not well and rud takafos. Agus I'm just con mahena command says osculte than inspired no than smine if you know. So but will like ta couple ta another cut this block le dinner vine agus ní block the going ella ach vi actually like some tahi kena.
Mama. See just look how Ken Barker was it because
Hánig mé an seo agus Thos Siobhán a fíoch just ar my hór a feig tréir no Vogus an seo agus vogam ar an seo an timppel an am céan ní a bhena gon ar a chéile vog mé raig chu mé go dtíon astráil ar feig tréir agus dil mé ríis ar seis go dtí ashram agus an tar spiridál com aithslí ach hána mé an seo ní ar a fór trí bhbliain a héna stocha agus bhí Siobhán treis beidir némí a chahabh ag nám son agus bhí mar ar thór leis an bartagain an corp bhí mar thór leis an cultúr leis an tanga leis an ceol rudí a hagan leis an spás an seo leis an bhíontas an seo leis an cultúr an seo na daoine an seo ihir cirí agus áit le hinis corcagaine like isáit fear speisialte like fear cuatach agus dócha go raibh mar just gur hána mar bhí an áit cinenne ag an am cinenne ar thór nód cinenne is lí agus fúlamar just fúlamar seis go nádótha agus bhí mar ar thór na an green a dul faoi sa tróna agus rudí mar sin agus just amdas
Bhí tíige gé just dír sí an bóthir
an chat seo
bhí an berta gona coní móthe malantéig so mófuin túha le mustaníar gúil bertagan agus bhí sé so bhí sé ceir kilométer an díobhile de balnatéig bhí sa tír bháin bhí sé si sa balan caile bhí just bhí mar le cuasan
agus so turas agad go dtíon pointe sin like sort so or well was we sin rubik mar hasí tú amach sort I guess I go bhaíocht agus an sin
my kid truck a blian is stocha nó han sé fós ann like ní go bhfuil éimethe but like sáitas a rud cos fi och nó fi hinna mlíon just sáitas na máíocht bhí just a gáí ann agus le charman fi lonathe le charman taréis beidir 8 nuair dairigh sé daríire an sin hosig an hosig rud éigen ag fás lom like says rud éigen is stíg but rud éigen muid comá nar in áit cosú le carman ar a búlan tú le den éigen há just chud bhataghine had cotóg leis na máíocht san sin an córá céine sa dahain sin anna chuid nó han tú ahananta mar imróir. But lean sin a raig se bhí slán sásta leis mar bhí anna chuid deithrodí a bheith bhrachas ag an ann gur deithrodí de taobh bháin an am cínte féidirachtaí bar líontaí clubíthe le rudí siimplí mar sin manáibh postlanna ceapan daoine nadidir daoine áirithe beidir airige deisina just anna chuid rudí mar sin sais agus but bhí mar chorp bhí mar fiochan ar leabhar le déine the body keeps the score agus
sé ag leabhann nuair sin lethir tá mé le leáí chuid
nuair a léas an tedla is like Jesus níach sé bheith níos crinne like the body keeps the score agus lean mé raig a gimmert gan vís teen agus lean mé raig mar ní rás non-stop agus is chus an scris ceart mar chorp. So Lannis raig fós and then ní raibh ná an dul níos mó so chuí mé taistil. Agus bhíos chun an turas sin íonan na hairnig is tóca an Tailin and Laos and Cambodia and boating down the river and on to Sydney and Bondi and out na mar sin, and then a while you treat Vegas and New York, and then blian no go catta agus it's just tourists or have vís chun rud éigin mar sin íanamh dearhan an sais a brahan dearn an dram éarnach snáid na sin agus gimmar demáníocht agus dí mar sin mar sa vís so íanamh nó arc. But bhualas le fear agus fear bhúntóir maithe agus haring sé mé ón dahan sin agus has sé a kaint machnamh agus láthachas agus anáil and rudí nach raibh cloiste gom riamh agus bhí sé ann sais an leis a bhíos thór a haspántom. So cumar go dtí Tibet agus an Tían, Nepal agus áit na mar sin is camar caspel blian go léithir an bóthir dil me chuí mé eiscin a gimmar demáníocht le charman ar feag blian.
Is cevalum sin actually were is cevalum an rud is mó go cevalum na ó garad bhí tú gimmars más mai nó haid go reis. Na bhí tú gimmars go mai nó haid agus an rud eile na tractory ag le ham. Len's been away travelling and he's after coming back now, he's class.
An just mó nach chéilinn síirse, bhí síirse agne agus bhí síirse ba chorp síirse physical.
Bhí sé anneagrach ag an am den éigen sin anú freisin. Ní rodíní gamach mar sin agus exact fresh.
Agus a fé 8 com mar sin prime, fé 8 tú han de corp just dír a condul con titam sias ach an tahí got comma agus an cléthe bio de corps na matán han tú treis an áin 10,000 ór no péir de currency there mástras a bhfuil amach.
Mar sé fé an clí le canis an bhéan haid se bhreis.
Carhrú canis caile mar le corcaig dúir le séile. Funas an méid an ta na bas cléthe.
Go dé mar bhí sé ag imacht ó culture an CLG ar feit tamil ag Johnny an Turris agus an sin ag chattereis mar a thug le rás or ahrithe ar dóigen ag gáil reis a culture sin. Go dé mar bhíon comparaid ar an gair.
Is tóca go raibh sé hána mé rais madan de mát ar an tríú fiabhran nó ag mar sin agus bhí sé tréáil le charman an ihe sin. So cégur iad mé anna chud cintíí agus mé imethe chun sanga all dína bhí ar an thuras céine ahant agus fannach lo gan tita mar as san senach lí a bhí a fiachan ar an dain costíar go rais isteach agus tháinig na smuintí ar fad an smuintí céin ar fad sais chun cín ach deir na blian an blian sin chuig mé go dtí deir seach na yoga thuas is sligach agus bhualas leis an sanga a bhíos ar thór ag an am son agus thug siad san sais cabhar agus takeíocht. Just é haspáint an sais go bhfuil an stíl de saoil sin bio in air an greibh daine ar an bailach sin. So bhí sin bhí sé deachtar tagtaisteach í an tram cuman lutas Gaeilge agus féidir rálum they're going to come back to us as if go raibh mé héna chailún. Dúirt fear of Hain Stephen Banville there ag gánaí dúir sé chuirse léarm. He's like, just chatting to one of the lads there and he was like, I heard Gaeilge Lyng's a Buddhist. And I was just like, fucking bhí sé gáir mar bhíosige and it was just that mí hiiscin to bhí ann.
Bhí festa go bit nar haid reis no?
Bhís ábhairlín fianna stocha nadidir céá nadidir raibh
Céim si bhú, but céim féin sin gá
bhí list dó dhéag.
So an rún virtual good sort ag Johnny were respective tourists spiridalta harfan am cena?
Bhí.
Is stocha cin nach ninan muid bhí bhí Siobhán ar ágrah siime ar fihanné go dtí tucha dó.
Tá míidir cóis
Don ar an luúan is tócha go bhfuil sé sin an am like fiche ocht tosní dina chur ceist.
Saturn returns.
When she left shocked.
There she an orbit fihoch blianig Saturn, so tagan sé rashistachi or the birth sign treis fihoch blian.
Okay.
Fi shock blian.
Yeah.
So agus Saturn is like the planet of fate and destiny, rules, responsibilities. So tagan sé sin goléir concín sa blian sin agus being like say existential crisis ag annach dine. Because all of a sudden had to ceist níos mó agat faoi the sale.
Yeah.
Brister Suez come out and say cycles are the shock mlíon nach like sir nádri shock agus sin tá dul concín olvór like cahar de éis fé héan éis agus fé ocht se cean eile.
Agus tá táhacht ar leis an ever shocked like metasoliacht heran freshen mar hí culé hí fell na leich ar siúr.
Sé shock gach shock mlíon
Bhí sé an cécean.
Cean an cécean.
Yeah, gal agus handshake. Ní hocal am go higan cean fú léin sa Falastín. Nuair cé sé siúil an nuirí.
Bhí seán ócí sound na gmáíocht.
Sin an céidir. Me sé seán óg agus carbre. Bhí go máíocht le chéile.
An tróir a go sé dhéine. Ag an céadró ar maidin sa clap.
Nuair sin sin?
No, just cool strap
So,
there.
bhí me go suas bhí an fella ar siúil a parkbug agus bhí an statue. Bhí sé ag bugu an statue le so go méid sé ús cóir irí na Gréine.
Yeah.
Agus dúirt hadar ride. Ag irí na Gréine tá me sé gan bratseo honú agus nen caiis sé rísí an croc isteach san óin. Agus an isteach sa fach agus tá sé gimmert le chéile, but ná hasí muid rísís. Bhí mí holmar her dé Johnny Tractor. Tá sé dé teach síos an croc leis gur nó cos leis an túhéidir an agus. Yeah, remember.
So tróir a gaibh dhéine.
Yeah.
Sin
Yeah.
Any as.
Bhí an duine ó Lynchí I Johnny an fell le Breach Corporation.
Okay.
On Cantor sin it. But so then we'll should look at sin Kahur Hasina Kaja Harlan or Kahur Hasina retreat Harlan. No.
Lár go go nach raibh.
Lár go mar bhíos tréimh se a caithh ar an Blascéad agus mé ann bhíos a fiechant ar an átas mé just bhrád an t-shirt a rihan mar bhí tomadóirí ann saoir a bháin agus trochach chu a fannacht san áit agus bhí na chéinle sna fanóige ar fad hí na doris lethoscailte ar fad bhí daine siúil an ann san áil idir na tithe go léir and it was just like bhí beocht in a lá ann just knoch bhí fí seir a ann a dul sin agus bhí smíanamh just bhrálam like rodégan a réid rodégan buinte le yoga nó just ní a bhís agam agus sin nar a bhóla marla na céile bhí mar chaint faoin na féidirachtaí seo mar bhí like bhí scotóca le dríocht Siobhán agus hí a bailú na living na leish agus gur visiki cad a bhí in achród agus just like Jesus just docreid agus bhí tóca leis an famine comá bailú famine agus bhí na rudaí ar fád ann agus dhéanam mar íireacht an céad t-shirt a ri ar an Blascéad but like bhí just cúig an aimse cúig in ar gine buigas le dígur chuig mar nírá like dá sé dechar freistal ar slú de fihe ar na lán mar ní léon talamh chom nó éonar mar sin spásta yoga nó éonar so chumar a ceala agus an sin dormar ramar bhí mar féchant neidir mar a clochar nó dégus bhí mar féchant ar an áiteo féchant th an counter ina hitar mar an rála chéile bhí mar tréis gach éile bhí mar just tréis an méid sin áma chahabh a siúil timppel na háit nar fad bhí sé rólas a goin bhí an áit ar rólas goin seirtíine cén fá nach chuil me tréis mína faoi hena le Seán áit.
Ní a bhíon ethna gom ní a bhíon chuach a gomsa ar an Blascéad you know but an áit sin like an réimse den ggósta sin like vís a gom.
Well cumar amach fi tú like ratú an dríocht
cumar amach a cuairt like ní rástréis glúiseach brethnú hart an áit you know mar vís agus an réimse sin like sé just anna speisialta sé cean se béal ús go dtí an gráig agus tá gachra down an le famine lovin pluis agus just áit foiile hé agus sin áit ghéana mar an díisiir te dúile.
Ceimfá go dé bhí sé bhígéirí sort le buinte amach leis?
Well, an rud nó chun is socha, an ciad smaoineh nó chun an dríocht a bhí martaréis an leis a bhí martaréis buineach é sin a reinine le dtíine. Cos bhí a gon go raibh leis an áit. Agus, amantí áirithe bheith, tucach áras an it an bhfuil míad réig a gróhann, an bhfuil míad cáilethe a gróhann, an bhfuil míad an ána seo dhéanamh, agus an sin tucigh an muín ina dhéag nuair a hantu mó ag siúil tagan am muín no actually níl gáúin crackí inna bhach é seo a hispáint. É seo daoine a chur sunáit seo agus iad rudí samúla dhéanamh lóthó agus dhéana gan áit an obair sin a hain leis san áit níl sin onin
san áit agus satanga Bramar satanga agus san áit.
So sílinn go leis in satanga freisin?
Well, bhí doing so agus níor leabhars níor a bhéin measagam fiúr an Gaeilge gur agus fiche dó agus lasséag agus mé treis trí lá a buintú sáid as an tanga sáid dúní hamid an céad ná hamid a bheith níos garad nás ólascuin agus an garad agus bhí mar treis bhíos treis Siobhán a bheile trí Gaeilge bhíos treis agus na méid sin nach trí and mentioned Dina on I stuck him héal tuis go raibh Gaeilge na gom fiú bhí leis in ngachait buinte leis an tanga.
Ceimfá sílann sé fúil sin fear?
An Gaeilge sead sé fit a fúta lenar chuid anam. sé tanga ar híntir. sé an tanga haid stígan ar DNA níle mar sé tanga an nádúir, sé tanga an tír comá. Tháinig sé ón tír. Tá míú sa foclacha mar hampla na livne tá úsáid ún úsáid há buinte leis an liv há sé stig san anim a caiilfar é sin ar úsáid tar an béle cosú lena lo anamnacha hais a go cén crína háid san áit a cil darach hais go gur bhfuil darach san áit san hais a go bhfuil cil len go bhfuil tépé len níl faicear ólas go nuair glisin tú cil déir ní léon ólas an so há an ólas cailte há corp de ólas cailte gain ní héháin an tanga há an star cailte gain agus neither céhúir dé but for a man to be free in his present he must understand his past agus ní éit mis tuiscint an ar chuid star a bheith gcuin man bhfuil an tanga a bheith so had sé códain the consequences mórsan vescartha ón ar chuid tanga cinnte chun é fáilte reis há annachid leis a gceist
Dé mar a hála sé don fortugah gur sibh le thsáile chun sort bhfuir leis héna a dhéanamh ar bhealach and then hannig sé bhreis an seo agus go dé mar a chuigh sé suas gur aitheann sibh gur bhán leis ar fáil in éireann an ru prósesan sin nó bhealach ag an greitheann sé bheith?
Braham just gur lean sé raig bhí sé fad buinte leis domsa réon cuman agus bí me gcónaí chuim cotógla daoine athá in ann an leis áil an seo mar braham se go raibh orm éilú abarála charman chun a bheith in ann fiechant tréimh se hógan chun fiechant arás sé stachar me hélas rá catá dul raig mar nar bhí sa stígní ra snána dhéanamh so an toras éilú a bhí gceist chun a bheith in ann rudí eiscint agus ahand. Ní a bhés gom greibh leis an seo cepas go raibh sé maras a háim éile phobal fi láthair le raibh yoga an macnamh an an iarthar greibh an leis an iarthar tuis go raibh an aglas catlacha choláidir an seo bhreas éonúd buinte le spiridálta greibh sé buinte gló so ní a bhéon leis an seo dom ach iníag file agus iníag dul dangháil ríis leis an cultúr agus an tanga an ceol agus na daine tá daine ar le ar an toras céine sa tír fi láthair agus sinní búla lá agus smaointí reinlós ruí mar sin cnoc go raibh Yeah, grev like Mercier and John Moriarty, like his big medicine and Farrig and a Crean, like an Talif and Fiantis, like it's just big it's all medicine. It's all big medicine if you're willing to go out into it. Agus ní raibh sé sin ar eolas agam go dtí gur le me stocha Moriarty chuig John Moriarty go mór a bhaim armsin in a rudí sin. You realise that the great teachers of anywhere else didn't have really nearly as much to offer me as some of our own teachers, you know.
Tá sé bh céint faoi le an leis mar focail nó concept dé hílann sibh atá an cénciil atá leis an leis.
An leis nach chun tú hénig I ginmh omláin. Hamid scartha muid hénig. So há an persanta agus an anam agus hadarig marachtant gáséil de frúil defarrá agus an aim a há ann, an leis a há ann nach chun an gárad sin a chuir le chéile agus go méidis ag marachtant an séil chéine. So go bhfuil do persanta ingel I ggur de anam. Go bhfuil de anam ag tomáint an ingel. Agus sé de persanta a há sa dain agus a há glach apart. So an tros sin chun imachtó de baile agus chun fille de baile. I dús boire bhrachas rénos go raibh bhí orm fáilt réig go thomláin le mo chuid persanta. Mar bhí sé lofa is lite nuair a bhí sa fiochantéir bhí orm bheith just rudéig go thomláin nua so chu mé saoil go dtí an ind agus bhís just meditator and sannyasi agus bhís an an bheith éonad, you know. Agus fáilíonn tú anna chuig mar thart síirste buinte le sin de fan bheith éonad just go thomláin an síirse níl tú freigrach de aine agus níl éon there's no projections. Anyone else's, the projected image, other people's perceptions of you can be very, very limiting on what you can actually be. You think it's only yourself that limits you, but actually those around you have an equally, that has an equally strong influence as what you think about yourself. So you have to escape from that influence in the first instance because you don't have the strength to transcend it while you're around it. And so you have to come away from the family and Shinavi and the friends and that life that sees you that way and away from that role totally. Agus ach had she rihafachtach chun fille because an made owl mean to fui kai to integration universion you actually you like you shake off the personality but then you reclaim it and you have to integrate it and ground it in. Agus nur hogus fui nar nur vis it in vis it foulum gach inward ach ní raibh sé manifest, like it wasn't grounding in goodie gohani me and so agus an sin vis an on na chud ceachtain a galéir a churvaim agus churunúil an so agus an sin há sé sais an circle dúnta agus há sé omláin an son agus sin an leis chun an gárad a chuir le chéile an is nach méid siad equivalent lena chéile because bíonn siad equivalent lena chéine gcónaí agus hádar fós ach on me dern bailach rénas níis.
Is cén fá a sílan tú go bhfuil gá leis cén fá go bhfuil siad a ciflas le chéile le an muna sé leis an saoil New Hampshire nó
Neidir sé domsa sé bhfuil sin stracailt príomh stracailt an cin déine just go bhfuil scarún down agus bhfuil mid nán féchan isteach ar an nádúr ar saoil gach éon déile atá le sin scarúnt agus an leis domsa ná chun a bheith in an ghlacha le sin agus a bheith socar le sin ach fós a bheith in an íarna a éiscint an láideacht a ahant an am héin chun búla leis an íarna an mhaith agus chun gan fatíos agus ní hé cailm amach ar gach éon lá comá le ní hé go bhfuil sé Dienta bud an own na hamantí a haim láid ar taiscom gohfuil stracalt agus ní chun sé steach nó amach orm agus just tá láideach dáil ann.
Sían tú gur stracalt like a gcónaí like as in like ní winning sé like daoine inniu but go sé go siar like ó hosí daoine go stracalt sinna.
Yeah. I mean, an rud a há tú caintear agus háid a caintféir is like the single greatest universal theme of humanity, really, actually. So níl sé just buinte glynna, nó níl sé just buinte éirnig, nó níl sé just buinte le ar glún. It's like this idea agus an sinna álamíonn tú is na fellsúnacht sír sé ar fad, the liberation philosophy, a hant in the scriptures ar fad, na lawer nefa leas, like Buddhists, Hindus, Christians, iad geléir hadder geléir a kind ar an rud céine, that Harle scarúint sin ar foinse. So haar foinse in áit omláine. So our source is whole, and then a separation happened. Agus an separation sin hugan siad, so separation sin harle an persanta, an agine, an ego. And the ego believes it's separate, and so it tries to live a separate life. And it is the opposite of the self. And because it is the self is ultimately creative because it comes from creation. The ego being the opposite to that is ultimately destructive. So and out of this original separation, all of the drama of life arises, you know. And to resolve this becomes it becomes, instead of a contrasting or conflict, it becomes a complementary dance, you know, that this is the yin yang, you know, like an Tao Te Ching. Therefore, so yin yang symbol ha on scale fad den kinedena o desach just a symbol of one shin agus ma yin and to makna ver an symbol shin a hagen koot, you know, ha an dorkadis agus an solis agus ha der bo an bertako ig dausel in hele agus beshi geshiri agus ni len mi hart lesin. So ní léon búchant had sé just godí go bhfuil tú dasa in an a trid.
Cén rólatá na lifanna agus forajal bé ón timpolacht leis an cén páirte tá ag sinna.
Yeah. So an slí is tapúile chun an leis sin a ráilt nó chun an scarún sin a knasú ná tríd ná dúr. Now, because déta is kainter day, ach han sé dachar do ghine credive bheith a co sprid nach full le fiskent. Ach ha dé le fiskent san áúr, ha sprid le fiskent an son, ha fianne se, ha sis rod áver a ché. Agus ma hentu da hi agus ma hentu the trus lice. If you go on your healing journey, agus hentu in achne an maid rodi a ha mohan, gneach tú a knasú. Taken to go bhfuil díogacht. You see that there is divinity in nature. You're hinting to here. So the lack, if you understand that you're not separate from nature, when you start to see that everything that you do that's good for her ends up being good for you, that everything in your environment is good for you. So sé the timpelacht, how the sláinte ag brehant go homláin the timpelacht. Go homláin, sláinte the agin, sláinte the churp, agus sláinte mahukáinach. The timpelacht, sé an timpelacht an rud is tábhach tí. Nuair a higann tú sin, sé an nádúr an timpelacht. Agus nuair a higann tú sin, tá béim the sail go homláin ahrathe. Níl simme bithe goin in airgid. I mean, bevraline, but like, how is it going like? And Rod is talking about sin and Kushka will meet and so gan post. How made an art and timplocked so like, you know, on Troy she's a boy how Anna Skull Lochos son like, I mean, on Ishka glan, on air glan, on cream and so, and like how muidne Tishka will meet in art co salaire son how muidne salaire. Agus sin ma ha tú sa chachar ma hen sé hos grí bailá clia filin sé agus ciam an defriocht. Agus sin an cúis nach rawas an áin fannacht sa chacharach in irid. Because teig mé níl ein scarúnt idir mé hen agus an timpelacht. So ma má churn tú dína inachna go dtíon timpplacht láin timpplacht úr churn tú iad inachna dó hénig agus an nácht a hán tú hénig.
Is tóca like cíime go physical like is slí Harbheith siimplí sé nud dír a céine agus hamad rascadí an focail say lice le rud éigen cosú like an rud is cotíonnta méle phobal fi láthair ná athruéir áid agus go bhfuil siad hard corn electric agus carbon trading and all of these things that are there because of the Great War on carbon, like the Great War on drugs and the Great War on fucking everything else that's been a great war unleashed on to shift modes of control and to re-establish power in different areas. And Kieme, if Ishli fear simply leis foraging mar on Shanishgale, the old story is here where the English came and we were made to feel like you're associated with being poor if you spoke Irish and if you foraged for food. And so they immediately bought into that, which originated in the Roman Empire. Only learned today actually about this idea of positions held in society and respect went with positions, whereas as Siobhán was saying with the Celts it was more about the person held the prestige in their nature. And so with something like foraging, far more than electric cars will ever do, if you're growing your own food and you're foraging your own food, you're not going to be driving to work as much or driving to the airport to get away from your life that you don't particularly like as much, and you won't be driving to the shop as much because everything you need is all around you. And so it's an automatic medicine because it gets rid of this notion that we have of the layers of society and what we can and we can't do based on what other people expect of us because of a social arrangement and agreement that's not actually real anyway. It's just something we've created. And then also it is the medicine because to make cars go on electricity is just to keep our lives the way it is. What's the sustainability? Sustainability is to sustain our way of living now. That's what the essence of sustainability is. It's not about sustainability of our relationship with the planet. It's about sustaining our lives. How can we make our lives continue the way they are without having to make any changes? That's what sustainability is. That's what sustainability and the best people in the country, the best people in this country at the moment are now, it seems to me, working for big business, for the government. They're doing their bidding because everything is given this greenwashing, this idea that this is for the carbon, you have to get rid of the carbon, but it's nothing to do with carbon. And I guess that Siobhán and sin is like tagam mar ashe goni gadi agus arish like go physical lice nor rud divine, but arish nor eishtem le jamra arti agus ham treshi when a maku blower stock go dagan Siobhán a vadnis miniki, but tagan she orum in is sweet fiekent an galach fiekent an farige like trasnian mo inten trasnian masuile o of a fiekent an farige, like looking at the sea as it's the sea that it has been all of my life, that I've swam in, I've gone to and I've lived by and all of those things. And then you just for brief moments you realise that it's actually we're just walking in a paradise, and all of your stories about who you are and who I am to Siobhán, who I am to Ishna, who I am to you, who I am to the GA, all of those stories like just fucking fall away, and you realise we're all just walking around in this paradise and we're making up all of these stories to make sense of it. But when you can feel that and see it, it just really all of those other things, that's the pain goes away, the struggle goes away, because there's a harmony there that's really very, very powerful, I find, and it's hard to find it when you're very busy maybe.
You mentioned something there that I kind of thought about in the past as well, just about the language. It kind of ties in with what you were saying about the herbs and stuff and foraging, but like if you think about like back in the day, I suppose a person's sense of security would have been very much based on the fact that they're handed down information from the generation that came beforehand, like how to express themselves, how to get food, how to get medicine if they became sick. And in Ireland, in a way, that cycle was forcefully broken in a way, so then we kind of lose that sense of internal sort of security or something like that.
That's right, yeah.
So in a way that makes sense. If we're going back to that, we're going back to the thing that has for like thousands of years made us feel safe, which is kind of, I guess, one of the most important like foundations for a person to be happy. Like,
it makes us very vulnerable.
yeah,
It makes us very vulnerable to influence and manipulation. You know,
yeah,
like Ireland and Europe. You know, Nuair a glachmar parts a tentas orcach, you know, gur fuair na pheromorí annachid airigid agus cailimar na isgóirí achid slíbeha, fuair na pheromorí annachid airigid agus biannachid, so dairig leis an tír an iag, ach anis han sé sa léir anis nach raibh sé sin fír, like, because han na pheromorí tréis cailuint. I mean, bhí pheromór áráilm an lábí ar an ígribh, like, ó ciad cuige don ba. Anis it fáil €2. So they've gone from getting €150 to €5 for the cow in the space of a couple of years. It's insane. Like, so now, so farming is gone and fishing is gone. So the markets have been obliterated.
yeah.
And then this vulnerability, like the vulnerability of Ireland to this sort of abuse and rape, really, because all our natural resources have all been sold. All our rivers have been polluted by pharmaceutical and chemical companies. You know, the EPA is totally allows all these companies to self-regulate. It's an international joke.
Shell to sea as well.
Shell to sea, it's one example. Now there's exploration off the Kerry coast. The bank bailout. I mean, the list is sort of, it's ridiculous. We're the only country with water fluoridation, which is illegal in other countries in Europe, you know. And you say, why does Ireland seem to be so very much abused, you know? And you could say it's a new republic that never really found its feet.
Post-colonialism?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a matter of opinion whether we ever got freedom, whether we ever shook off a colonial power. Because I mean, if you look at American foreign companies, and you were to say that you were to just supplant everything that the British Crown did with an American foreign company, then you would say we're still colonised. We're just colonised by foreign nationals now. You know, because it's the same thing. It's just hegemony now. It's just more insidious. But still, the country's not free.
Yeah.
You know,
you could make a case for like digital colonisation as well, and the fact that we are so connected to digital.
Well, that's much more insidious because it's colonisation of our minds, colonisation of behaviour, which is the ultimate. Sin áit in a bhfuil sin ag dul like bhfuil siad an ann ará or rockig Siobhán amach an doras madan de Diarmuid Lyng agus cean óig si XYZ in XYZ agus go méid isaco bhfuil siad now nation a hóis, so it is like that's a more insidious one. But leis an calling like post-colonial mar tan sin ráite I gcónaí like just cloisi mé sin in gcónaí that's our post-colonial tendencies, or you know, and it's a phrase, and I'm not sure. Like, I understand honesty as a phrase, but living it, like in every aspect in all of the different areas of my life. Like, I used to think of with the GA, you know, in dressing rooms, like honesty would be up on the wall, and it's lovely, like, you know, freaking honesty, yeah. And then they'd say, don't foul before every game, like don't foul. It's the worst thing you could do, like, you know, don't foul, because if you give away less frees generally the opposition, you win, you know. So it's like, don't foul. And then a fella be turned and he might be carrying a little bit of weight and he's going to give a little lazy pull because he knows that if the fella gets away from him, he's going to be shown up as being a little bit slower and a bit overweight. So his fear comes to the surface. And so I realised after a while, like, this thing of honesty is fucking completely and utterly inunderstandable for the way we were conversing about it, because it was just this like simplistic thing. And sometimes I think the post-colonial, I don't know, do we understand that? Because if you tie it into what we were saying before, that vulnerability that Siobhán was talking about, and what you were saying about safety, that's the effect of that's, to me, like, I'm beginning to understand a little bit clearer that, yeah, do we go into Europe with the best of what we are? Are we armed with the best of what we are going in to make these arrangements? Like, were we armed with the best of what we were in 73 when we gave away our oil? We looked at the Norwegians nationalise it and we did the very opposite. Are we going into any of these battles with the best of who we are? And it seems like the best of who we are kept down and kept in and shut down and made feel like what the best of what they are is not actually what's valuable, the things that they are, the energy that that they live on, that's not what's valued. What's valued is the English sentiments, the American sentiments, the ability to have a power stance and a red tie and to talk about all the shit, you know.
You could say like what's valued really is like profit, really, like financial profit, which in many respects that's what comes first when it comes to decisions that are made that affect the people of Ireland and at a governmental level, I guess.
That's it, and you know, it's just acknowledging a material world as though this existence is just material all the time. You know, with the Irish language, there's a constant awareness of the immaterial in the words. You know, in the notes and Manacon has a lovely show, and you know he talks about how this to cut the bread to let out the fairies. You know, that was the thing in Ireland. You know, and they this always in the language there would be this focal hoge
slim and
scheme is doch in count. And she decher smuoine ver na sampli han irichin sampli nach nor han tegeri smuoine ver. But she focal agor piece of bog de plúr ach she focal elle agor an rud the harlíon má hint with the chuile agus go tagan na sioga kut. Do you know?
Yeah.
So like elle hate the shin, and this sort of this materialism in Ireland, it comes from speaking. The English language is the language of the colonizer. It's the language of materialism. It's the language of capitalism. And like you said yourself, not just capitalism, but surveillance capitalism now, which is now the next paradigm shift. The next generation of capitalism is surveillance capitalism. And you do see that in Ireland as well, this vulnerability to the digital co-option with the 5G that's coming in. You know, in other countries, in Brussels and in Rome, they've halted this rollout of these new untested frequencies for faster internet, Maria. They've halted them because there's very serious health implications, because these frequencies were only ever used by the military to, you know, by the Russians to actually as microwave weapons. And now all of a sudden they're supposed to be safe to use for internet frequencies, but they're obviously not safe. And in Ireland, there's no comrade or regulation. There's no regulation there. There's no fail safe for us as people. So this vulnerability is there, and I feel like it's definitely connected with our lack of a language.
Yeah. So you guys say that your part of your mission is to bring that message to people in Ireland, or like is that kind of what you're doing with the retreats and stuff? But be really interested to hear like how you see that kind of like message being passed along to people, say young men for example, who play GA. It's a very kind of alien concept for a lot of people, you know, not in a disrespectful way, but it's, I guess you guys have kind of come to this through journeys of discovery and going away and coming back and working in that area. For a lot of young people who haven't done that, then it is kind of like it's kind of out there kind of concept, I guess. Is it? I don't know.
I mean, in the GA, it seems to be definitely to somebody like out there. Oh, bye. Is down. It seems out there, you know, but I find when you sometimes it just takes speaking an unspoken truth for somebody to lodge in somebody. Like it's like they already know it, you know. You talk to groups of GA players from time to time, and you speak about some of these things, like, and I find the yearning in them for some real communication about some of these things, and it opens them up a huge amount. I ran a stag recently, for example, in Killarney National Park, and I dressed up a heap of Dublin fellas who were drinking cans and doing their own thing, but I dressed them all up as women and played a hurling match with them in the middle of Killarney National Park. And Stags are stags, and you've been on plenty yourself, no doubt. And we've all, many of the fellas listening have been on stags, and they're a certain thing. And one of the things that I was saying to the guy who I was organising, when I said, look, I think at some stage in the day we just have to mark the experience. We have to acknowledge that this fella, our buddy for the last 2 years, who's been with us through thick and thin and seen all kinds of things, now he's going on he's crossing a threshold, and we have to mark that threshold. And he was like, how are you going to do it? Petrified. Like, how are you going to do that? Like, what are you going to do, I said, look, we'll get a fire. We'll get a fire going, and we'll sit around, and we'll just give them a chance to acknowledge him, even write it, say it, whatever comes up. And as the day got closer and closer, he was just like, look, maybe leave off that part, and we'll do these other things, we'll play these games and stuff. And I said, look at him, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it otherwise. Like, there's no value. And what I found was, and he continued to battle against it a bit, but eventually we got around the fire after playing the game, and the lads were wide open after playing, because I was chatting about some of the things that I was thinking about the game, and these are all with a GA background. And when we got that chance to mark their friend, I said to them, look, if you want to write it down on a piece of paper and then burn it, it'll do its trick in the universe anyway, that's fine. Or you can give it to him. And fucking every one of them gave it to him. And every one of them at the same time as well, most of them, the ones who were conscious enough to do it, I felt, were looking at me and they were saying, like, we'd like you to come in. And I could see in them, they were kind of saying, there's more, we need to speak to you. We want to talk to you about these things, because there's nobody talking about them. So I think that it's very difficult in one way to talk about these things, but I don't think you have to have heard them before for them to make perfect sense. I don't think they're wild ideas, but they're born out of the wild, but they're not wild ideas. And once you can follow the thread, and it helps for me for the GA, because I know where to start. And in that kind of journey that Siobhán was talking about earlier, the very most important part is to be able to meet them where they are. And so meeting them where they are and then taking them on that journey becomes a little bit easier when you know where it is that they are, I think they feel it. I think they feel a little bit of disconnection from the roots of the game at the moment.
I was going to ask you about that as well, in the sense that, like, hurling, like, it's an art form, but if you look at the highest level of competition now, which is just kind of like an exaggerated form of all the other forms, all the other competitions down to underage kids, is like the emphasis is on the competitive side and winning, and maybe the expressive side of it has suffered. The expressive side of the art form has suffered at the expense of the competition and the winning at all costs, and I guess the commercialism of at the highest level as well, to some degree.
Yeah, this idea of it being a product, the commercialism that's fairly rampant at the moment, while we're being fed this message of belong, the GA community, and it's all about small communities and everything else. But like at the end of the day, the club calendar is like packed into six weeks at the end of the year, and again, I think it has repercussions in the greater, like, if you're looking at where the lice is, where the medicine is for the game, and for where society is, if it's the lice for one, it's generally going to be the lice for the other. I feel, or else there's an imbalance somewhere. And as I see it at the moment, for the game as well, but socially, like this move towards the city and city culture and city life and city disconnectedness from nature is a serious problem, and we're losing our foothold in the countryside and in nature. And for the GA, we're going through the same thing, this like centrality of this Crow Parkness, this like the big day, the big games, the inter-county teams, the inter-county preparation, the money that's drafted in to make all of that happen, that's growing continuously. And a fucking magnificent thing in so many ways. But the players are all saying, like, there was an ESRI study done on it, like, and 78% of them or whatever it was are saying, like, look, my biggest problem is just imbalance is ridiculous. Like, I can't get any foothold in my life outside of the game. Yeah. I can't spend time with my loved ones. I can't do anything, So I think if the GA are going to continue to talk about the club, but they're going to continue to push the rampant commercialism of inter-county game, that's only just mirroring the social problem. And I think the great possibility is for the GA to reinvest back in the club. And if I'm in Ownascall and I see that the focus is back on the club more, and then the club championship grows more, then you've got a pride of place in a way that you don't want to have to escape to this idealised world of Dublin or the city. And I think those two things go hand in hand, you know. And that's what the social possibilities of the game are huge. Before even going near like the Astri and all that stuff, like just the very organisation of it's following the same pattern as the capitalism in the game, you know.
To maybe try and relate that back to the point that Siobhán was making about the importance of our connection with the language and connection with the things that grow out of the land, and have for like medicinal purposes as well. Hurling as a form of expression or an art form or something that's like a really ancient thing that's connected to the people of Ireland, in a way, you know, it could be seen potentially in the way that we look at martial arts where they're practiced. They're practiced at like different speeds, different versions of them, and whereas everything in hurling, when you think about it, is practiced at full speed, fast, and then when you're finished playing, then you stop playing hurling. When you're finished your competitive career, like people don't see like people who are 60 years old popping around. They're just like in their 20s or their teens or whatever. Yeah. Which in a way I think is like it maybe unfair to the game and unfair to the people who could still be continuing to practice it until like they're in their 90s. Really, like if we put it in that context as something that can be practiced forever, and maybe not to say to take anything away from the fact that we have got like brilliant competitions and keep the nation entertained every year in and year out, but then there is another element of it that maybe hasn't been explored as much. But I think maybe is that part of the reason why it's in the part of the retreats?
Yeah, for sure. Wild hurling, like
it's totally his mission, like.
Because this is the thing is, and I know, and it's a very controversial. I have that for a sec, babe. It's a very controversial thing. You want to play the drums? I think, do you? Yeah. It's that. And when you talk about the martial arts side of it and what that goes back into, is that I am Cuchulainn, like that's the mythological story comes through me, and it comes through all players. And we think myths are child stories, but they're not. Like they're living their way through us all the time. And so when you approach the game and the state of the game with that in mind, then you start coming upon really valuable answers. And one of those things is the answer to the question that you're talking about, is the question that's asking itself inside of you as well, which is the game is being limited to the GA club entry, to the white lines, to insurance and helmets and all of this stuff. And that's not what it is. Like we can go out on any street in any part of the country at any time with any amount of people, any age, any sex, any capability even. And we can find a game with the ball and the hurl that's close to hurling, that restores and recovers the same that's lost by an art teacher who tells their student that their painting is shit or whatever, and then they lose that creativity for the rest of their lives. It's like the game can be played outside Grogan's, like the game can be played on the beach down here. We can take these places back and play our game on them, and I know there are repercussions for that type of an attitude, but I think that there's too much gold in there to
even on a physical level, the very act of hitting the ball around is very healthy for your joints, and also your mind and stuff as well. But I think that the probably,
but it's the organized. I think it's it's the way our minds have been infiltrated to think that we can't go out and play a game anymore.
Play has gone out of it.
That we can't just if our parents or our aunties, like we had a woman who never played hurling in her life. She's from Wexford. She's actually a teacher in her school that I went to, and she had never picked up a hurl in her life and came to the retreat. And we played hurling on the beach in a gale force wind with sand blowing all over the place. It was unbelievable. We could barely keep a hold of the balls. And she came back off the beach beaming because she connected with the ball once, she'd caught the ball another time, and she'd scored another time. And it was like, and then I played this same game for a show that actually happens to be on tonight on TG Carr to do with the Bailiddis.
Tonight?
Yeah, it is on tonight on TG Carr. And we got Declan Root, George O'Connor, Claire O'Connor, Aoife O'Connor, Barry, like basically 12, Kieran, Micheál, my three brothers, one older, two younger, and the rest, like all inter-county players, and got them on the beach. And I said, look, I have this game and I want you to play it and play it seriously. Like, there's no competition. It's not just about creativity. There's competition because competitiveness is native to us as well, and there's no problem with it. But this is how it's played. And they came off afterwards and they were just like, why? They were like, it was like they realised for a second the same question you're asking. They're like, why don't we just do that more often? Why don't we get together with other people and play that game? Because that game is so beautiful, just pucking the ball.
I remember a couple of years ago, I was pucking out with Timmy Hammersy, Cork, and we just like kind of had our shoes off and we was pucking on the snowboard in the field, just like a piece of park or something. And he was like, and I wasn't playing. I was like, not miss playing matches and stuff. I was like, I kind of miss being on a team and playing the games and stuff and the physical contact and stuff that is involved in it. But I'm like, I don't miss the other elements of it, like having to be somewhere Tuesday at 6 o'clock every Tuesday, every Thursday, and then the weekend is gone as well. I was like I'll like be here to play with you anytime you want. I was like, but I'll be in the park with my shoes off and you can come down and we can puck around and stuff. And it's just different. Maybe it's a different element that I guess is probably only available to like kids these days, in the sense that it's the last time most people do that. Like, it's when they're like outside their house, outside their mum's house or something. Like, it doesn't. Adults don't do it. Like,
I brought Siobhán to the game. It'd be interesting to get because Siobhán had never really played before, but you've played now a few times. Like,
it's I loved it. Like, I loved learning from you. Like, I loved being able to. I mean, we did it in school, but just near Chuaigh sé Stac, like just near Chuaigh sé Stac, agus cahas lá bháin ag fálam le Diarmuid, agus just bhí sé gum, agus bhís gomach, agus níor a bhís gum chahas like 8 bliain sa Gaeilge, agus níor a bhís gum gur agus gomach ag imáníach. Conas a hála sé sin, bhí mar a gimmert gach ile seachtain. Conas a hála sé sin, agus actually is dócha sé really an príomh téma don díseart comá. Like, ha mé de géirí Gaeilge na aulam, Gaeilge na bhuaine go dtí daoine, ach ní hé bhuaine ach é a thart ar neis, agus ní hé bhain an Gaeilge ach grá an Gaeilge a thart ar neis do dhaoine. Agus chun é sin i dhéanamh caithfar dhéanam ar macnamh, annach chuid macnamh ar chá conas gur chaide cé. Because ha mé go léir á aulam sa scoil. Ha mé go léir á aulam, ha mé de chaith blianta ag aulam an Gaeilge, céim fáin nach chuil sé goin. Ní dhéanann sé cíal. Ach má gcuin ófá agus bhí sig móna burt dégóirí, trúr dégóirí bhí sé tacúm i gcóir Gaeilge, agus níor puin Gaeilge có, rís tréis 8 bliain a chachaf sa bonscoil. Agus múntóirí má hiasán, ní hé aspa Gaeilge na háim. Ach ní raibh puin Gaeilge na có, because just dúirt sé hat sé le dránach. Now, an fibe a há gcuin ná an cuaras an dachas. An slí a há sé muoite. Because, like, deirtúirní agus bhí sig léamh an Steiner education, either a chuú trácht ar Steiner. Agus an ísintír há seachtar fáin géad na scoil na Steiner scoil sa bhís. Agus há sé tógta inis go bhfuil ní obrion passive learning. Ní obrion sé. Experiential learning is how children learn. They learn by absorption. They absorb. Agus go háirithe faoi íse seacht caiigh siad bheith physiciúil. They learn through physicality. Chun iad go léir a chuir sí síos ag board leistíigh gan éonar do coach an mlán chun bé móigh súgra, like, is chuid sé cruáilte, agus is prisúna, agus is rud, agus is stíige aganna an páising, scuinam i mó aganna comá. Like, buin mé tanna bhas scoilach an taon cúiscin buin mé tanna bhas nó amlón ag súgra. Ní hé bheith stíg. Agus so há muoine á muoine an Gaeilge, há mar ag déanamh imachtaí trí Gaeilge. Experiential learning is what works. So hádar ag rit timpe leis an imáin. Agus hádar ag fálam an folklór den imáníocht agus don chorp comá. Hádar ag déanamh yoga ag fálam na buí becha. Hádar ag déanamh sealgurt ag fálam animnacha an timpplacht. Do you know, so Shine, it's to take Irish out of the classroom and create positive association with nature.
Shin actually more Harley and Shay have a couple of cards a gorky, agus down much train all the killer, just in Gaeilge. So just on crack to shit the lads a Gaeilge Ola Marish or Tashi Agri when skull, but just Nero and Co-Hexon and Edward. But in Rutsin there's two modulation chorus edges. Sheelam Gershin Buntash the more of Yogin and a faster. Modulation edges from Martin Gaeilge. More Fishay like really kangos a hinta sugging. The Wargro na Hudarashi and I think the Shena winter Halloween. So the Nask in that light rugging lash. August a few Sheelam grow spragu more again and Gaeilge Lorch and a faster the Harvision. August Nihilam go Shen on to Jeshkart. Neil N sort like well but ni Ekantini go well the Neganigiri and I think this in a espresso co-seller of this video
Kinte, maar an seo sé shimbal den Goris, who's and sons sé shimbal den revolution. Do you know how she go homeline and ballard and symbols matter like sin another homily foulam like. You know the psychological association is everything. Nor how to kind of moine pastí no foulam le.
Ke hagan ar na nurseries.
Mixed bag.
Yeah. Really? Farrell on Irish News actually was yeah. Achdina o Blog Clia Kiri Kirkig Dina le Tahila Yoga Maniach like Dina
She's a mool because how tarring defrulig and truraquin, how tarring ag Diarmuid le like Dina Mahasimago Maniach agus sport agus le head agus Dini le simme shal she drowned de frul agus Dini le sim sa Gaeilge she drowned de frul reached. So like how she really just go will me yin of ruddy co exula Lena Kiela how drown exula ta.
I can she be a emacht and she didn't shift wow tan dinner in a emacht because she sort like Ari here do and January can't balak me should happen Tá an rud a háig obair an rud a Harlíonn nó an baile Tá baile ann ag nóire nó péad ann baile chunsteach áirithe go stopan do chuid cainte. Tá tuiscin ag annach a daoine ach níl an cainte tacht. Níl idir had a ró cúla chun leabhart. Bín aglar rih brethúnas agus gacrid. Agus cuid bha I mean, go fór is stocha há an baile sin briste. So ní hé go bhfuil ní hagan an flúrseacht há an baile, sé an baile há mid díú isteach ar an baile sin.
Agus éon baile, is tócha éon baile mar sin go physical sa dahan like tá an díorcan rud céine sa corp. So má constaach áirithe le Gaeilge leabharta duine háte sin is go súla bhfuil sé gramathe áit éigen go physical. Agus nuair ligtar é sin nuair han sin scuilte an sin just tá is like a súil go an fuil ag rith tríd an corporí agus tá sin imethe agus sin áit ina ceapan se agus dúirt duine a bháin acu agus is tócha just go raibh sin anna dhéanamh níos má na eile ní hé nar hála sé just go duine a bháin an rud nachhfuil siad ná chur foclacha ar ná agus dúirt an ban seo é láminíag dur si tá cuacht i mo chorp nar bhraith mé riomh le tá cuacht anm nach raibh iscom go raibh ann agus is cosúla go raibh faointe de rud éigen scaoilte agus gur tháinig rud physical ina chorp chun cín like ina intin chun cín agus bhí ar thóir an aiseola sin is tócha mar Mohammed chun an méid iirecht an iirecht a dhéanamid den méid airgid a dhéanamid agus an rud like is bralin an obair but tá aiseolas like tá tahí an duine an rud is tábhachtaí agus máthá sé just bhí deir seach an as choirí it's like when ní fiú é a hámannig géirí like an rud an cuacht seo a spreige agus a oscailt naine sin like an príomhhaim hágumsa sin difriúla nach éine but anamsa cínta sé conan ahananta sin a hort nó conan tahí sin a hort a chuoine go dtigann siad nar ábhar íontanga go dtigann si nach caiimid Gaeilge cumá beo tuisgur Gaeilge í an tanga na tíre and na fraggraí seo no seo like seo faointe cuacht. This is I feel like and the countries go to war for sources of energy, so this is like a big thing. Do you know?
Louis and Virtugov like Macnu agus Kangal is another agus yoga can do ige talking shit in relation to Jack and Marcel hen.
I mean be me de mo ik shall gerucht. Yeah, being like I stuck a gach.
Be a good.
Stuck a gach bele, yeah, how are degen fion I gach bele.
Yeah.
Nu coupon te fion nu. Hagach I dis hagach te mud de chydorse ni chenim bude lais or need go like hagach and son like agus nu ha biogan all is good. Is lore. Is lore maidin rúsing méile scór nach time sáiste agus team móhan son like infection i gisne sin butterbur ag fásing nachhaint agus bhí sa léh ag vógal nature doctor go bhfuil sé natural antibiotic you know in on it like a chorus style a scrisel antibiotics so sin an rud domsa sin an slí a thugam isteach é níos mó just chun dul just run rudí áil bí tá leabhar áirithe agam just rudí gan na fiocas suas gach lá agus sé seis cuirir like seán nádúir taristeach chum agus cabhraigh lom mé chénig nesú because I mean gach há tinnis gach duine gach lá tinnis áirithe agus chun an leisacher is trosáil in é you know Macniv, I mean Macniv was yoga. Oh, we were going to River Rogagishna. We were on Yenam Gakla River Rogagishna, and she know how to get landed. Yenam she Macniv Naramig Bahu.
Yeah.
You know, you're how she on Sunday actually humming on like Dolly Stiga because she rode the fruit. But
it's looking tagum she isteachas amachas cínta bíonn strachel down leis an ceoncap fiú nach bhfuil má dhéanamh like bíonn díam or like tá scarún níos fuide a ríis mar ní héidir nach bhfuil má dhéanamh haim díon orthain nach bhfuil má dhéanamh agus an sin like aíonn sin níos meas a ríis like an ceonta agus gachrad náir agus nuirí sin ach is dócha ón méid há díanta agus an na rudaí a tháinig agus mé á dhéanamh le just leanan an obair sin a raig like okay han just like stoppathe is slí agus slí eile like níor stop mé ach an áit in like fi forber down go dtí pointe áirithe agus beidir go bhfuil say a seoltóireacht an gléis sin I lí fós agus just kind of says glachile sin you know it's like yeah braválum fós like card a gom agus an shit yeah it didn't rodíntach like
yeah but what's rodí in her team because an rod no like and she just rodí in her hin come on like she didn't base how gay because had you know surfall gach maiden had to lean to sticks in arige gach law like it's rodé sin is rod kocht okay sin kun dienef like agus need to see you know in Macniv ach is Macniv this high second they shin agus is stoke it the sachen trus hat to yenef kite to just see agus be just equiness agus gan bog gan fwaki yenef kun an cunishin of winnemak cuz an she decorate winnemak ach an idea no go met to trace rein forbert agus rein tahi go met to an cunishin of winnemak is stige genief
yeah
agus le leanamh go háirithe cafaréis sin dhéanamh. Cos ní agus domsa le mo yoga like níl me dhéanamh mo chuid uair maidin ach bím se like má dhéanam an áil isteach nuair a ha mé á fiúcha suas agus nuair a ha mé á umper because ha annachid carpadach is a géist like le leanamh comá. So má cuiníime mo chuid an áil sin mo yoga inis. So sin an rud leis an integration like ha níl an uair cinnte deartha a going gach lá mar sa bhí ach tá sé more integrated in ish agus homid it's Mohammed, you see, if you look at yourself objectively, we're actually doing pretty well. Like it's just that habit of the mind for self-flagellation going, I should be doing more, we should all be doing more, but we're grand like we're doing alright,
we're doing alright, yeah, we're doing alright. We are for sure. I mean, we're blessed. We're blessed.
Daddy Dodie.
And he's been like that was a funny thing that surprised me now with looking back at GA culture, like this idea of at 32 or whatever, it's the beginning of the ball and chain, having to get permission to go out for a pint and all that. And I don't know if it's just a laugh or if it's kind of serious. I'm not. I'd have to go back to it to realise at the time, but at the time it seemed very serious and I was kind of dreading post-hurling.
Yeah.
But now when I see things, Jeannie Mac, like Crow Park, like you wouldn't bat an eyelid to it for the time I get to spend with him, so it's an interesting one. It's a strange commentary when it's as beautiful as it is, to have a little man. Big woman.
Ken Rowan kids. Jerry Chaplin yalla.
Cosca.
Didn't would count Kerala stock a Harm Cosk, Blinch Cohen, August Braham with Danish like Hanshi say some male fubble ha Nadina ha tresh tacht a kind fui ni smalls on Leon Chin Nadine like Jaime Geary Instagram agus rudi mar sin úsáid chun an focail scapa and ní caiime rialiach ar sale a hafid lí like mar hamla dinmh na rudí higher and t-shirt ar ein komme but quid vade no really just Dina hagan ar lauren siad dín eile and tá sin ag fás an tamar fad so tá Dina treis áitna chur of the cás complete coin so tá sola gom gur federlin just ní smó dhéanamh ní smó Dina a thuirt goí ní fiú sima gom Dina a bhíar an t-shirt a thugann rás like tagann sin is ríis but like I just I'm a year
Ken do ag tagann get grand Dina at sin area like bridge
I'll see a bit of lean again wildairishtreat.com I had Darragh Siobhán and David Siobhán agus how she sin own agus Thomas
Facebook Wild Irish Retreat
Wild Irish Retreat
agus há is bosta 8 so
Imáníocht fián bí fián yoga fián Dina fián sa fiantas
áitailis neidir ag an áitailis
that's sin that's my liquid I suppose for me
This is the chapter called Chocolates from Roald Dahl's book Boy Tales of Childhood, and if you want to hear the rest of this book, then you can go back into the previous episodes of the podcast, and the very first podcast is at the end of episode 51. Chocolates. Every now and again, a plain grey cardboard box was dished out to each boy in our house, and this, believe it or not, was a present from the great chocolate manufacturers, Cadbury. Inside the box there were 12 bars of chocolate, all of different shapes, all with different fillings, and all with numbers from 1 to 12 stamped on the chocolate underneath. 11 of these bars were new inventions from the factory. The 12th was the control bar, one that we all knew well, usually a Cadbury's coffee cream bar. Also in the box was a sheet of paper with the numbers 1 to 12 on it, as well as 2 blank columns, one for giving marks to each chocolate from 0 to 10, and the other for comments. All we were required to do in return for this splendid gift was to taste very carefully each bar of chocolate, give it marks, and make an intelligent comment on why we liked or disliked it. It was a clever stunt. Cadbury's were using some of the greatest chocolate bar experts in the world to test out their new inventions. We were of a sensible age, between 13 and 18, and we knew intimately every chocolate bar in existence, from the milk flake to the lemon marshmallow. Quite obviously, our opinions on anything new would be valuable. All of us entered into this game with great gusto, sitting in our studies and nibbling each bar with the air of connoisseurs, giving our marks and making our comments. Too subtle for the common palate was one note that I remember writing down. For me, the importance of all this was that I began to realise that the large chocolate companies actually did possess inventing rooms, and that they took their inventing very seriously. I used to picture a long white room like a laboratory with pots of chocolate and fudge and all sorts of other delicious fillings bubbling away on the stoves, while men and women in white coats moved between the bubbling pots, tasting and mixing and concocting their wonderful new inventions. I used to imagine myself working in one of those labs, and suddenly I would come up with something so absolutely unbearably delicious that I would grab it in my hand and go rushing out of the lab and along the corridor and right into the office of the great Mr. Cadbury himself. "I've got it, sir," I would shout, putting the chocolate in front of him. "It's fantastic, it's fabulous, it's marvellous, it's irresistible." Slowly the great man would pick up my newly invented chocolate, and he would take a small bite. He would roll it around in his mouth. Then all at once he would leap up from his chair crying, "You've got it! You've done it! It's a miracle!" He would slap me on the back and shout, "We'll sell it by the million. We'll sweep the world with this one. How on earth did you do it? Your salary is doubled." It was lovely dreaming those dreams, and I have no doubt at all, 35 years later, when I was looking for a plot for my second book for children, I remembered those little cardboard boxes and the newly invented chocolates inside them, and I began to write a book called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Corkers. There were about 30 or more masters at Repton, and most of them were amazingly dull and totally colourless, and completely uninterested in the boys. But Corkers, an eccentric old bachelor, was neither dull nor colourless. Corkers was a charmer, a vast, ungainly man with drooping bloodhound cheeks and filthy clothes. He wore creaseless flannel trousers and a brown tweed jacket with patches all over it, and bits of dried food on his lapels. He was meant to teach us mathematics, but in truth he taught us nothing at all, and that was the way he meant it to be. His lessons consisted of an endless series of distractions, all invented by him so that the subject of mathematics would never have to be discussed. He would come lumbering into the classroom and sit down at his desk and glare at the class. We would wait expectantly, wondering what was coming next. "Let's have a look at the crossword puzzle in today's Times," he would say, fishing a crumpled newspaper out of his jacket pocket. "That'll be a lot more fun than fiddling around with figures. I hate figures. Figures are probably the dreariest things on earth." "Then why do you teach mathematics, sir?" somebody asked him. "I don't," he said, smiling slyly. "I only pretend to teach it." Corkers would proceed to draw the framework of the crossword on the blackboard, and we would all spend the rest of the lesson trying to solve it while he read out the clues. We enjoyed that. The only time I can remember him vaguely touching upon mathematics was when he whisked this square of tissue paper out of his pocket and waved it around. "Look at this," he said. "This tissue paper is 1/100th of an inch thick. I fold it once, making it double. I fold it again, making it 4 thickness.
Now then, I will give a large bar of Cadbury's fruit and nut milk chocolate to any boy who can tell me, to the nearest 12 inches, how thick it will be if I fold it 50 times. We all stuck up our hands and started guessing. 24 inches, sir. 3 feet, sir. 5 yards, sir. 3 inches, sir. You're not very clever, are you? Corker said. The answer is the distance from the earth to the sun. That's how thick it would be. We were enthralled by this piece of intelligence and asked him to prove it on the blackboard, which he did. Another time he brought a 2-foot-long grass snake into the class and insisted that every boy should handle it, in order to cure us forever, as he said, of a fear of snakes. This caused quite a commotion. I cannot remember all the other thousands of splendid things that old Corker cooked up to keep his class happy, but there was one that I shall never forget, which was repeated at intervals of about 3 weeks throughout each term. He would be talking to us about this or that, when suddenly he would stop in mid-sentence, and a look of intense pain would cloud his ancient countenance. Then his head would come up and his great nose would begin to sniff the air, and he would cry aloud, "By God, this is too much. This is going too far. This is intolerable." We knew exactly what was coming next, but we always played along with him. "What's the matter, sir? What's happened? Are you all right, sir? Are you feeling ill?" Up went the great nose again, and the head would move slowly from side to side, and the nose would sniff the air delicately, as though searching for a leak of gas or the smell of something burning. "This is not to be tolerated," he would cry. "This is unbearable." "But what's the matter, sir?" "I'll tell you what's the matter," Corkers would shout. "Somebody's farted." "Oh no, sir, not me, sir. Nor me, sir. It's none of us, sir." At this point, he would rise majestically to his feet and call out at the top of his voice, "Use door as fan. Open all windows." This was the signal for frantic activity, and everyone in the class would leap to his feet. It was a well-rehearsed operation, and each of us knew exactly what he had to do. 4 boys would man the door and began swinging it back and forth at great speed. The rest would start clambering about on the gigantic windows, which occupied one whole wall of the room, flinging the lower ones open, using a long pole with a hook on the end to open the top ones, and leaning out to gulp the fresh air in mock distress. While this was going on, Corkers himself would march serenely out of the room, muttering, "It's the cabbage that does that. All they gave you is this disgusting cabbage and Brussels sprouts, and you go off like firecrackers." And that was the last we saw of Corkers for the day.